Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keene. You know, there's people out there who have stated that I got paid by Christians, and that's the reason why it is that I was a believer. I haven't got paid a fucking dime. A long time ago, many years ago, I was having some problems with a home that fell through. A bank wanted to basically foreclose on my house due to a person that I trusted that I was paying rent to in order to rent to buy. We ended up losing our place and we ended up out in the street, me and my kids and wife. I ended up praying out to God, asking if there was a God that would help. There was a church a while back that ended up helping with the deposit, but after that one time of helping, I have never received a single dime, a penny, from any religious group out there or religious people at all. In fact, I've got shitloads of religious people on my Skype, and rarely do they ever say hello to me or God bless you or I've been praying for you or do you need a friend to talk to or any of that kind of thing. You'll notice in my hangouts that from time to time G-Man or Jesus Freak will show up or Darwin's Deity. Even Nephilim Free used to come in. And I remember Nephilim Free spending hours and hours not giving a shit about anybody else, just talking about how he doesn't like evolution. Having guys like Pillbox in who interrupt everybody, including the host, which is me, just so he could argue about evolution and the earth being fucking flat. Some of you out there may not know this, but I don't find any entertainment or interest whatsoever in talking about the shape of the earth, or how old the universe is, or is the creation account a metaphor, or is it real? Did we evolve from primates and all this? I could really give a fuck less. As far as I was ever concerned, evolution could very well exist and there could still be a God. I don't have a problem with accepting evolution, even though I feel like there's still a lot of questions out there that I have. But that's not even the main problem. You get guys like Darwin's Deity who came in just yesterday after I just got done talking to Nadia in private on Skype. A lot of people said, Brett, you need to talk to her. She's depressed. She's extremely feeling horrible. And I spent time with her and I even invited her into my room. And Darwin's deity, a God believer, I don't even know, he came in and the first thing that he said in my room was, Brett, don't eject me. If you feel like I'm talking too much and you don't think that I can have my self-control, I'm kind of adding that to it, then just tell me and I'll stop talking. And as soon as he seen Palm Jam step into the room, he started calling Nadia a fucking drag queen. I don't get off on making fun of people who are transgenders or homosexuals. I don't think jokes like that are funny. And it disappointed me, and I even called him a piece of fucking trash, and I ejected him out of my room. I had just got done talking to her, listening to how depressed and sad she is to hear him do that. I've had my disagreements with Nadia, and I even made a shitty video a while back, and it did not make me feel good inside. It did not make me feel like a good person for what I had said about her, because I was angry at the fact that she allowed so many people for so long to continue to treat me like absolute shit whenever I came in her room, so I kind of took it out on her, which I apologize and I feel was wrong of me. But now we're going to get to the meat of this whole thing, the point of the title of this video that you're looking at. I've tried with all of my heart to believe. I've tried everything I could to have faith. I really did. But I find more and more I'm just arguing with people, and every once in a while it seems like somebody finds some kind of hope or reason to open their mind, but usually it's just constant over and over arguments. It doesn't make me feel good. It eats me up inside. And I admit that even some of the non-believers out there that come up with some pretty damn valid topics and points that remind me of things that I thought about whenever I was a non-believer. I really wanted to believe. I really wanted to have faith. but I feel like, unfortunately, I've lost it. I think it was a lot easier for me whenever I first started out because I did have a Christian who was very kind, an older woman who used to kind of talk with me and help me to be able to move along. She knew I was a work in progress. She knew that I was really seriously fucking trying hard. But unfortunately, I don't have her to lean on anymore. I haven't had her to lean on for a very long time to help me out and to help me with that compassionate, merciful side of me to continue to seek God. Because unfortunately, her daughter ended up telling me that she fucking died on the floor from a heart attack. She was like a damn mother to me, almost like a mother, grandmother, whatever you want to call it. And since then, there's literally been no real support. There's been nothing. In fact, I've had Christians who actually argue with me. So what damn translation of the Bible do you go with? What church do you go to? How do you interpret this passage? Or if you don't believe this, then you can't be a true Christian. I felt like any interactions I've had with Christians, you've made me feel like I wasn't doing something right or I wasn't jumping through the right fucking loops. And if there are any non-believers out there that ever want to come over to religion or the faith, then are they going to have to deal with that? That they're not believing properly or they're not jumping through the right loops and blah, blah, blah. One of the rumors that has gotten spread out there by some non-believers is, oh, Brett was religious in the first place because he was getting paid by Christians. As if there's some kind of organization out there that's sending me a fucking check each month for putting up with the kind of bullshit that I deal with on a daily basis on YouTube. No. A long time ago, some Christians helped me out whenever I fucking lost my house and my wife and children were out in the street. They helped pay a deposit, but I ain't seen a penny fucking since that. No one's paid me. No one's given me hugs and kisses. There's no one blackmailing me or giving me some kind of deal. But unfortunately, I've come to a point where I just don't know if it's there anymore. I just don't feel it. You know, I promised a long time ago, whenever my daughter was born and the doctors told me that she was going to die, I prayed out to a God and I said, if there's a God, please help her. And I really felt like a God actually moved in my life and helped her out, and she's 12 years old today. But there was something someone said to me that literally shattered that thought process in Skype. They said to me, Brett, if God loves you and God loves your family, then why did he let your daughter get sick in the first place? That's a fucking dandy, isn't it? A God that knows everything, a God that loves you, a God that is everywhere at all times. It would be kind of sick or disgusting for me to try to make the argument that God deliberately allowed her to get sick in order to change me, using my child to convince me to convert over. There'd be no reason for me to sit there and serve a God like that if that were the case, would it? So I've got no clever answer. I've got no clever response to that whatsoever. I discovered that by becoming or calling myself a believer and trying to defend and argue for God has caused me nothing but fucking trouble. I've literally watched around me as people who hurt me and try to cause me harm have become very successful. They've made them a lot of friends. People have made them a lot of money off of trying to make me feel like absolute dog shit. And I have to imagine to myself, if there was a God and he actually gave a shit about me, he would not allow me to continue to get fucked over repeatedly. I don't like waking up in the morning feeling like a piece of shit whenever I know deep down inside I'm a good person. But even a person who is strong, even a person who knows that they got a good heart, a person who knows they try the best they can, there's just so much you can put up with before you're like, okay, God, I keep putting it on you, and I keep saying to you, and I keep crying out to you, and I keep praying. I can't tell you how many times I've been on my knees and in fucking tears. Yet I keep getting fucking treated like dog shit. So I don't feel like I'm walking away from God. I just, like I've admitted repeatedly in all my videos, I have not heard an audible voice. I haven't heard God speak to me. Oh boy, I wish he would have, though. I wish that he would have reached out to me, and I wish Christians would have tried harder and put a fucking effort forward instead of just using my room for a place to argue and fucking rat on about evolution and everything else. Or the universe is 6,000 years.
Oh.
No, I wasn't scripted. I actually cared and I believed. It's odd, I know. I was a Christian whenever I was a child, and then a tragedy happened. I was an atheist for many years. And then because I felt like some things happened in my life that I couldn't explain or understand, I ended up opening my mind and my heart to God again. But now I just feel like fucking cancer. I'm getting older and I feel very tired. I feel very weary. And I'm sick of being compassionate. I'm sick of sitting there reaching out to people and trying to help people and just getting shit on. This is not what I signed up for. I do not want to be a punching bag for people. And I know that whenever I was a non-believer, I would never have let people get half this far with me. I would have never let anybody treat me like shit like this. But because I wanted to do the whole love your enemy, turn the other cheek, and do all this shit, I've let extensive amounts of fucking abuse happen to me from all different sides. And now I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I really don't believe that there's anything anybody can say at this point. And to be honest with you, I don't think anybody will even try. I don't think anybody really gives a fuck if I've lost my faith and I'll burn in hell or whatever the case might be. So whenever I do my live hangouts, which I plan on being more consistent with it, and you come in and you're a non-believer or a God believer and you fucking talk over me or give me any kind of bullshit or make me feel like garbage more than I already do, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to say God bless you or I forgive you or let me pray about it. I'm going to say fuck you. Get the fuck out of my room, you piece of trash. Get the fuck away from me, and that's it. That's how I feel. That is how I fucking seriously feel. And I don't give a shit if anybody likes it anymore. I don't have any patience for bullshit anymore. I'm tired of the nonsense. Thank you for the very few Christians out there that have been nice and kind, and thank you to the few non-believers out there that have been cool, nice. But I think it's time for a new path. I think it's time to try something different, something new. I'm tired of all the fucking bullshit.